Well, I mean, it sure has been a while, but guess what? You know, we're here now, back with the 11th, I think, episode of the survival series where I build a survival map in Fortnite Creative. As you can tell, a lot of things have changed. We have an entire terrain overhaul. We have zombie spawners now. We have these new pink trees, better looking mountains, like way better looking mountains because of the new terrain. A way more fleshed out base compared to what it was before. And also a whole lot of other little changes that I guess I'm gonna go over now because we have literally like 4 episodes worth of work right here. Also, stick around to the end because at the end I'm going to be redesigning the storm shrine. Where is it? Over here. I'm gonna be redesigning this thing because I don't like the way it looks, at least compared to how these normal shrines look over here with the big orb and whatever. Obviously, the most obvious change is the entire terrain overhaul. Every single piece of terrain besides the caves, because I think the caves look fine and I put way too much work into the caves for me to completely, you know, redo them. But yeah, besides the caves, we have an entire rework of the whole map, pretty much. The same general layout for the jungle area over here, the jungle tropical area, has been kept the same, but obviously with new cliffs and all that. I tried to blend together the old terrain style with the new look of the modular terrain, and I think I did a fairly decent job of that. Obviously, in some areas, it works more than in others, like over here, I'd argue, could use a little work. But I think overall, it's an amazing change and a very welcome one. So for the other biomes, however, I completely reworked them. I didn't like how they were before, so I changed it. Yeah, that's basically it. The poisonous biome is, I think, pretty good. I think it was too big before, and even though it's smaller now, it's way more intriguing with this mountain here. I've also made the cave entrance smaller because I think it looks better that way. Obviously, the caves aren't done at all. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the poison biome. Now, here we are in the base of all places. This is where, you know, you're gonna be doing most of your crafting, seeing your progress, and all that. The fast travel room still isn't done, but, you know, we'll get there. However, this main room obviously is looking pretty good, if you ask me. There will be some effects in here, and also a little cutscene that I'll show you in just a second. Over here in the main workshop, or the starting workshop, there is 2 more things you can craft, and that's going to be the bow and arrow and some arrows here. So I was going to wait for the melee device to come out because, y'all know, that would be really cool if we could have like swords in this map and whatever, but it's taking so long. So instead, I'm going to balance everything off of bows. Clipping into the advanced workshop, as you can see, it's more full, I think. Dude, it's been so long, I forgot what I've shown off. We have this machine here, which is going to be used to convert monster parts, yeah, and malachite into certain ores. So this machine right here is basically going to give zombies a purpose, and that is to get materials. But now I'd like to show you the intro cutscene, I guess you would call it. I'm really proud of this. The only problems I've come across is if you're on lower post-processing and effects settings, it tends to display kind of weird, which I hope is fine with you guys, because I spent way too long making this whole cinematic thingy. But let's just go, you know, let's just do it. So here we are. Let's just pretend we've just wandered through the portal into the workshop for the first time, and here we are. You know, we're exploring a little bit, you know, looking at our surroundings. Then we find this big red button. Now, obviously, us being the stupid main protagonist, press this button unknowingly, knowing what it does. Also, I don't know why the emojis aren't displaying correctly on the signs, but it's fine, whatever. But going back to what I said, we unknowingly press this button and commence the transfer of power from the portal and then the lights come on. Obviously, creative is bugged, so it doesn't actually look like the lights come on. And then the music kicks in, and it's just, oh man. So that is also something that I love about this, is there's actually music in the game. So depending on what area you're in, there will be different music. Obviously, we have the core of the base, this giant orb right here. Compare it to the 0 point all you want. I think it looks cool. But as we step through here, as you saw before, the workshop is used to craft certain items. And if we go over here this way and look at this door, as you can see, this door isn't open. So in order to repair this door, we need some stringy twine. Going back to the workshop, we can open this loot crate right here, which we will get these materials, which we could then use to craft stringy twine. And what this is here for is basically to get the player used to crafting their items, right? So this teaches the player the basics of crafting. Now we can work our way over here to the door and repair it. And now the door comes down. The music switches. And now we are in the world. So cool, man. Now, the last main thing I really want to show off are these zombie spawners. Because you might be wondering, well, how'd you get these to even work? They're on custom terrain. Everybody knows that zombies don't really work on terrain like this. So, if we do go down there, as you can see, they do kind of work. And they can hit me. I mean, they take a bit and they're kind of bad at it, but you know, they give them time, they'll eventually go and hit you and do damage. It's actually really simple, and I don't just say that, you know, just to make it seem like, oh, you know, it's actually pretty easy. No, it really is just super simple. What you do is you take something that the zombies can walk on and do have an AI on, like this platform here, and then you put it under the zombie spawner on the flat, it has to be flat, piece of terrain. And then, yeah, they can walk on it. And finally, if we go over here, we now have a logo for the map. I will be still doing some building on this storm shrine, which I did say in the beginning I was going to redesign real quick. But before I do that, please consider subscribing. You'll get more updates for this survival map, and I have some videos planned for the future. And if you want to go ahead and support me further, I have a creator code you can put in the item shop when you're buying some skins or whatever. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get on with building this thing. So the first thing I am going to do is delete this. I'm going to move all the mechanics out the way, first of all. The button can stay there. I don't really care about the button. And let's delete this. I think it's just really ugly. It doesn't fit the style I'm going for with the rest of the map, especially after designing the zombie spawners. So now that is deleted, what can we do for this? Maybe we could stick to the similar style over here of having the chains, right? So maybe we could do something with that. Alrighty, so I took a little break from building, but now I am back after eating some delicious fried chicken. And this is what I've come up with so far. So we are using the blocks of ice from the Ice Cube Gallery, or not the Ice Cube Gallery, the Ice House Gallery. These guys right here, and we're combining them with some VFX. So we have lightning here as, like, you know, if there's a thunderstorm or lightning storm or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that's where it stands so far, and I think I like where this is going. For the longest time, I wanted to incorporate like clouds in there, right? So I don't know, something like the cloud prop gallery. But I really don't think it would work, especially considering what we already have over here with these zombie spawners. So I think I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. Let's actually, you know, build this thing. There it is. And it looks like the effects aren't working the way they're supposed to. Alrighty, so let's go and try that again. Let's build this guy. And look at that, the particles are now working like they're supposed to. But I think that is going to be it for this video, so if you enjoyed, consider subscribing or using my code if you want to support me even further. And click the video on screen right now if you haven't seen the other parts of the survival series. Anyway, see ya.